What's going on, everybody? It's Cody Steck. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm joined by the one and the only Allie, my beautiful wife. Today we're talking about our worst money mistake that we've ever made. This is a big one, and I hope that it's something that you can avoid and hopefully learn something from what we did to help you along with your investing journey and not make the same mistake that we've got right here. So with that being said, we're going to jump into this video. We're going to talk about making a remodeling mistake on one of our properties. This resulted in a $30,000 expense, which could have been reduced down to probably somewhere, I would say probably $15,000, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think we spent a lot more money on this project than we really needed to, especially looking back. You know, at the time we were a little bit naive with what we were getting ourselves into.
We had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah, that's an understatement. We had no idea what we were doing. But needless to say, we could have spent a lot less money with a little bit more planning and a little bit more foresight into the future as to what we were actually going to do with the property and what our long-term vision was with it. So let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory here. So in 2017, we had just gotten married and we had the opportunity to buy a home directly from the seller. And this was actually a really good situation because we were in a position to be able to be the first ones into the property and we didn't have to bid with anybody else. The market at the time was a little bit competitive, and so buying houses, especially under market value, was a little bit difficult. So I went into these sellers and said, hey, look, I can sell your home on the open market, or my wife and I can just buy it directly from you and we can make it a nice, quick and easy deal. So that's what they ended up opting for, and it became a win-win for everybody. It was great because it had 2 basement apartments that we were actually able to rent out while we were living there. So we lived upstairs, and then we had tenants in the basement at the time. So I think this was, you know, the norm for us, when you say, because we'd come from a house like that.
Yeah, we lived in a house where we rented out the basement, so we were just kind of switching over to more of a triplex situation where we rented out both sides of the basement and we lived upstairs.
Yeah. So this was a really good opportunity because we got in, we didn't have to bid against anybody else or anything like that. But there was one problem that needed to be fixed. The only issue was it was totally a grandma house. It hadn't been updated since it was built, basically. It still had green carpet, it still had tile bathrooms. I mean, it
had a blue tub. Blue toilet, like it needed some love.
It needed some love. So we went in and we decided, look, we need to remodel this. We need to rearrange the whole one side of the house where the bedrooms and the bathrooms were because we needed a little bit more functionality. So needless to say, we just dove right in. We jumped into the project, started ripping out walls. We even got down to the point where, you know, we were basically doing this ourselves.
Oh, we did everything ourselves. He did all the demolition. And like you mentioned, we only did one half of the house.
yeah, well, we're getting to that.
We only did one half.
We started with one half of the house with the intention to do the whole thing, but we said, hey, look, these bathrooms in the bedroom area were the worst, so we decided to start there because it was just a little bit of a funky layout and a lot of unused space. So we dive in, we're demoing, we did most of this ourselves, which was, again, the first mistake, I think, trying to do that ourselves. I could have paid somebody to bring in their team and they could have demoed the whole thing in probably 2 days, but instead it took me, you know, mostly me, 80% me and 20% her. It took us at least a month to demo it, right? Because I'm still trying to work my job, I'm still trying to do everything else along the way, and you know, I don't know exactly what we're gonna demo and when to do it, and anyway, so that was a learning experience in and of itself. I think one other thing that we could have had situated beforehand was also lining up some of the contractors along the way, rather than just diving into it and saying, oh, we'll figure it out as we go. I think if we had planned a little bit more and shopped around with contractors and also gotten them scheduled a little bit on a tighter schedule, we would have been able to finish this project quite a bit sooner. So I think overall it took us probably 6 months to do the whole project, and I think we honestly probably could have got it down to 2 to 3 months if we had just planned a little bit better with getting everything scheduled and of course paying other people to do the work for us. Looking back, this place turned out absolutely sick. I'm going to throw some pictures for you up on the screen so you can take a look at what it turned into, but looking back, there was a couple things, and this is kind of where this money mistake came into. I think one, we spent way too much money on the property because I think we got a little bit carried away with remodeling something and making it really cool. But we had never intended to live there like forever. You know, it wasn't like a forever home.
No.
And
I think we just got like super excited.
Yeah, we just got way too excited, basically. So we got way too excited. I think looking back, you know, there's a couple things with the layout that we had. The master bedroom and the master suite was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the best bathroom and the best closet you'll ever see. I don't even see these types of bathrooms and closets in $1 million homes. So that turned out awesome. But I think looking back, if we'd kind of looked at it as a rental, which is what it is now and what it will be for the next, 20 years.
We would have done it a lot differently.
Yeah, we would have done it a lot differently. We probably would have chosen a little bit cheaper materials. We probably would have, we should have added a third bedroom. I think we could have made
Definitely.
our master bedroom and the closet and the
To
bathroom.
2 other bedrooms.
Yeah, we could have rearranged that and added a third bedroom instead of just having the 2 bedrooms upstairs. We could have 3. I think that would have given us, another $100 to $200 a month in rent.
I think another thing that I wanted to mention, I think if we could go back, I don't think we would have done the remodel at all if we would have known that we were going to use it as a rental.
Yeah, I think looking back, I think that's something that we would have done a little bit differently. I don't know, I think we still would have remodeled it, but that living room in the front, I think we would have just turned that into a third bedroom and maybe just kind of updated the cosmetic stuff, the floors, new paint, maybe new bathrooms and stuff like that. Because the bathrooms were pretty bad, they needed to go anyway. But yeah, we would have definitely done it a little bit differently, and I think we could have got that cost down, to like 15,000 or so. The second item that was kind of an issue for us is that we had only remodeled half of the house. And when we finished this remodel after 6 months of doing it, we actually ended up moving out a couple of months later. We actually found another home, plans changed. We decided to get into a home that was for ourselves, and we ended up moving out of the house just a couple months after finishing the remodel. So now we've got this house where half of it's beautiful, it's absolutely awesome, and the other half is still totally grandma style. So we're kind of talking about the possibility of remodeling that at some point in the future when the current tenants move out, because I think that will really help with just kind of the resale of the property as well as how it rents. Because somebody walks in there and they're like, wow, this master bedroom, master suite is awesome, and the rest of it's kind of old school. So I think we need to do something with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to take a little bit more money going into the project to complete that, but I think we're gonna get some money back from it. I think from the remodel itself, we put in like 30,000, and I think we probably got 10 to 15,000 on the value of the house. So not the best investment decision there, but a really great learning opportunity, at the end of things.
Yeah, I think it really was a good learning opportunity because we're kind of talking about building a house now or in the future, and it's like we kind of know where we're gonna go for the future if we do ever decide to build a house, because we definitely learned a lesson.
Yeah, we definitely know more now than we did back then, and I think it's safe to say that we kind of have figured out our path and how we want to move forward, because at the time we were buying a lot of homes for ourselves to live in, and now we're actually at a point where we're staying in our house and we're buying rental properties that we just strictly rent out, right? We're not moving into them and turning them into a rental or anything. So for us now, I think we're in a better position where we can better plan for the future and things like that. So yeah, I mean, just the expenses in this project were way too much. Don't make stupid mistakes like this. I mean, I think our plumbing bill, just the plumbing, to move plumbing, set up new fixtures, new water lines, stuff like that, I think it was like almost $7,000 just for plumbing.
And he was not a nice guy.
Not the best guy.
I know that doesn't matter, but he was not very nice.
Yeah, really expensive, and I mean, it just turned out that way. We needed to get it done. So anyway, like I said, things kind of progressed. We ended up moving out of the house after a couple months and actually decided to rent the house, at least this unit where we were living, to another family who's been really solid for us for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But the property still does need some fix up and needs some finishing on the project that we started a couple of years ago. So
I don't even think we finished painting.
no, I don't think we did. I don't think we finished painting the doors because they just come primed. And I think we just left the doors.
We just left. We were like so overwhelmed. We were like, we're done.
Yeah, we were done. So we just had to get out of there. So anyway, we packed up, got out of there, and now it makes a great rental, right? I'm glad we still have the property. It's actually our best rental property for what we got into it. So definitely happy we bought it. Definitely happy we did the remodel, but we would have done it differently looking back.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that being said, guys, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up here on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about money, stocks, and real estate. We talk about all things here. Hopefully we've got my wife here back on the channel for some future videos. Love for you to follow along, and we'll catch you in the next one.